Give John a round of applause. He's going to go ahead and do a Q&A and chat with you guys a bit.
I am John Thomas, aka the Bodybuilding Vegan. I have been vegan for 19 years. I've been bodybuilding for about 16 years. My goal here is to maybe open some minds, empower you guys, encourage you to be kind to yourselves, to the planet, to the animals, to your fellow humans, and hopefully answer some fitness questions. So, does anybody have any questions for me?
Don't be shy.
Right here.
John, you're kind of buff. What is your BMI being so heavy?
That's a great question. I have no idea what my BMI is. And that's one thing that we've kind of been lied to. Like, we learn about BMI in school a little bit, or I submitted my health insurance application. It said you're obese. I said, that's wonderful. I don't look obese, but BMI is based simply on height and weight. It doesn't take into account, like yourself, sir, you got some muscle on you. So it doesn't look at muscle versus fat. It's better for looking at populations, like hundreds of thousands of people, but not for an individual, it's useless. Otherwise, I'm obese. But a great question. A lot of people don't know that. So that's why we do this, and hopefully spread some good information. Yes?
What's your
Main source of protein, the vegan halal truck. No, I do enjoy their gyros. They use seitan, but I get a lot of protein from different sources. As a bodybuilder, I get about 370 grams of protein on my training days right now, so it's a lot. More than what most people would need, but to give you some examples, you can check out my YouTube channel. I put a lot on there. No, I'm just kidding. Seitan is gonna be a great one. It's a little bit lower in fats and carbs. From the soy-based options, we have tons. We have edamame, tofu, tempeh, we have say grace, soy curls. There's so many options from soy. And then I also use pea protein isolate. I try to get a balanced amount throughout the day. Did that cover it? Okay.
Do you ever dry scoop?
Dry scoop. What?
Protein.
Oh, protein? No, that would be terrible. That's a great challenge, though. We could do that sometime. People will dry scoop pre-workouts. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that, other than you should probably be drinking water anyways before you work out. A lot of people don't know that, like, hydration is extremely important. Like, I even have clients that don't drink enough water each day. I get about 2 gallons of water a day myself. What's also interesting with hydration is it can come from multiple sources. If you're using juice, coffee, pre-workout, all of that is there's still water in there. So it all adds to that daily total. The only thing that is like liquid that is not hydration is alcohol. Alcohol will dehydrate you. Coffee? No. Coffee will help you urinate a little bit more from the caffeine, but it's not going to actually dehydrate you the way alcohol will. Yeah.
One last question. As you get older, you envision to slim down, and how do you slim down responsibly?
As you get older, how do you slim down responsibly? Are you calling me old?
No,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm 32. So that's a very, like, my coaching brain goes into all the different avenues there. What I would recommend is start to look at what you're taking in, track your calories that you're eating, just so you have an idea of where you're at. Also, you might want to track your output, like how many steps are you getting? I think, at least speaking for myself, as I get older, I get a little bit lazier, I park closer, I don't take the stairs, things like that. It all adds up. But the biggest thing that I would recommend is do some sort of weight training throughout the week. When you build more muscle and you can output more work at the gym, it's going to raise the total amount of calories that you burn. For me, it's more fun to lift some weights than to just go hop on the treadmill and run for hours. So hopefully that helps. It's not exactly, but once you start tracking, that's where you can really start to modify and adjust.
I've got a question. If you are looking to get in shape, and it's probably been a while since you were active, what's something that someone can do that may not be so intimidating?
So if you're trying to get in shape, maybe you were in shape in the past, maybe you've never been in shape before, what are some ways that you can start getting into it without being intimidated? I think that so many people have an all or nothing mindset. This could be applied to veganism, to religion, to being in shape, literally to anything. So what I recommend is start building habits. If your habit is simply, I'm going to do 3,000 steps a day for this week, and that's where you start, it's a start. Get started. Start building those little habits and then building off of them. I also highly, highly, highly recommend do what you want to do. If you love yoga, you shouldn't go to the gym and lift weights for 5 days a week like myself. Go do yoga. You can get fit and strong doing yoga. You can go rock climb. You can go mountain biking. You can go get active literally anywhere, and that's a start. So for anybody, Just get up and do something. Move, whether that's even today, go take a walk after you eat. It's that simple to get started. Now, build the habits, stick with it over time, and then grow into it and find what you're passionate about. Are there any disadvantages to being a vegan bodybuilder versus a non-vegan bodybuilder? I think the largest one is going to be belief. When I first walked into the gym at 15 years old, I not only got buried by 120 pounds on the bench press, my dad had to save my life, I was also told by the trainer, a 250-pound bodybuilder, about my size now, you'll never build any muscle as a vegan. You'll never go anywhere. You need to eat meat or you won't be able to grow. And I believed him. Why wouldn't I believe him? I'm 15, he's double my age, triple my size. Like, I had no reason to believe he wasn't correct. So now, that's my whole goal. I'm not the world's best bodybuilder. I've worked with some great clients that have turned pro naturally. And my goal is to show that there really isn't anything holding people back other than self-limiting beliefs. From a performance standpoint, whether you are on the enhanced side, the natural side, I believe that plant-based athletes actually have a bit of an advantage. If you can learn the nutrition and find what works for you, your blood work, internal health, it's all gonna come back better than these athletes that are eating 400 grams of animal protein per day. They're burning through their bodies. Externally, they look great, but internally, they're not healthy. I've worked with enough athletes to compare blood works to see that eating plants is like in line with what we're biologically meant to do. So nobody's done it because we've had this myth that you have to eat animal protein. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't think there's any negatives. If we look at the Olympics, for example, my memory is not perfect here, but I think there were 7 or 8 vegan athletes that medaled. How many were carnivore that medaled? 0. So clearly, there is an advantage to eating plant-based. And I think as we get more educated and more conscious as a species, we're gonna go that direction anyways. So, good question. Paul. What fills my cup the most when I'm working with other people and helping them reach their goals? That's the hardest question I've been asked today. That is a great question. I think for me, in my own journey, the coaches that I've had that have helped me see who I can become, that believe in me more than anyone else has ever believed in me in my life. Even like, I love my mom and she supports everything I do, but I don't think she believed in me as much as some of these coaches to push me to levels that I would have flat out told them is impossible. So for me, when I get to have a client and work with them and set a goal for them and watch them not just hit that goal, but blow past it and realize that they're worth it, they're worth investing in themselves, they're worth achieving that goal, and that they're able to do more than they ever could have believed possible, and that's just the start, that for me fills my cup. The messages I get from clients saying, I've never been this happy in my body before in my entire life, I can't buy that. I could buy a Ferrari, cash out my retirement account, but I couldn't buy that message, and so that's why I keep working, is to get messages like that. So.
Just so you know, you did that for me.
Gonna make me cry on stage. I love you, brother. I'm so proud of you because you have a million excuses. You run a business, you have kids, you have a relationship, wherever you're at. You had a million excuses to not show up, and you showed up every day, almost to the point where I worried about you because maybe this guy needs to go eat a vegan burger sometime instead of taking his meal prep everywhere. I love you, brother.
I love you too, man. Love you too, brother.
All right, I'm gonna ask myself a question because this should be asked. What does it mean to be a man in today's society? I think we get to rewrite that. We get to rewrite history. We can change things. I want men to step up. I want men to give hugs. I give hugs. I don't shake hands. I'd rather hug you. I want men to tell each other that they love each other, to show up for each other, that it's okay to cry in front of each other. When we look at society, not trying to go down a negative route, but do we have a gun problem in America? People could answer that one way or another, but how many mass shootings are carried out by women? I think men have been so forced to not show emotion, to not feel, to not love animals, that we've lost some of that. We need to go more into some of that feminine energy as men. I think strength is not killing an animal because you're bigger or stronger than it. Strength is stepping in and stopping someone else from killing an animal that can't defend itself. That is, to me, what strength is and to be a man. And I really hope and believe, I have to believe, that we can all do better. So, thank you for giving me a hug. Thank you all for listening. Like I said before, building those habits are great. You might not become vegan overnight. I didn't. I was vegetarian for 3 years. I thought that was enough. I'm not killing any animals by drinking milk or eating eggs, right? Until I learned in factory farming, every single male chick at an egg laying facility is thrown up into an industrial shredder when they're about 6 minutes old. Billions killed every year. So we can all change that. Even one meal at a time, supporting a small business that's going to promote healthier food for you, but also take care of the animals, take people out of jobs they don't want to be in. Who wants to work in a slaughterhouse? Who wants to slit an animal's throat for money? Raise your hand. People would probably think you're weird. But then people go around and pay other people to slit animals' throats. So I'm asking, have compassion. Think about it. I was 10 years old when I went vegetarian, 13 when I went vegan. And it wasn't until about 29, I'm 32 now, that I started speaking about it. Because if you're vegan here, this is your chance. You get one life. Step up, speak about it. I hate public speaking. I do not like being on stage. I'm an introvert, so I dress weird. I wear vegan booty shorts, things like that, to try and encourage people to talk to me because I'm such an introvert. But if we sit here and watch and say, oh, I'm vegan, so I don't have to do anything, I don't have to speak up, I'm doing my part. Just sitting there and not saying anything isn't doing anything. So speak up. And if you're not vegan yet, I'm a safe place. Y'all can reach out to me. I will hear you. I will help you. I will give out any free advice to anyone that's trying to be more kind and compassionate to themselves, to the planet, and to the other humans. With that, I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to hang out down in front. If anybody wants to come talk to me one-on-one, I'm here to help.
Can I say something real quick? And because he's not going to say it, I trained under him for several months. And in 3 months, I was able to drop 30 pounds. Because this guy is extremely intelligent. He knows exactly what to do to help you have the life that you want. So definitely stop by his booth and pick his brain. He is a wealth of knowledge. And thank you.
Thank you, Sean. I love you, brother. Thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm going to get off the stage because this is not stuff I enjoy. Back to Jeremy, the great person on stage. He enjoys this.
Give a round of applause to John, the bodybuilding vegan.